Alright, 5th grade. Today on this video I'm going to show you how to make your ugly doll layers of fabric. So to make your ugly doll you actually need 2 layers. You need a top layer and then there's stuffing in the middle and then you need a bottom layer, and they both need to be cut out in the same shape. So you're going to actually use the stencil that you created in the last video to use as a stencil to trace onto your fabric. So the first thing you need to do today is
car riders may exit the building. Car riders, thank you.
Find 2 different colors of felt that you want to make for your ugly doll. I picked green and red. I try and pick a light color and a dark color so that way it's easy to see. Now when you go to make your ugly doll on your fabric, you're going to need a Sharpie as well. You need to put your ugly doll on the fabric so it's not close to any edges, and I want you to trace it. But I don't want you to trace it right on your ugly doll. I want you to give yourself space around the ugly doll because you are going to be stitching around the outside, and this is going to allow some room for your stitches. So I want you to go just like a 1/4 of an inch or a little gap away from your ugly doll all the way around. It's almost like you're giving it a shell or a sweater all the way around its body and head and legs. So I'm going to go all the way around everything, and when I get done tracing around the whole entire body, you do not have to draw the eyes, mouth, and all of that stuff. That's just for your reference later on how you want to decorate it. So we're done with this for right now, but save it. You might need it in case you accidentally messed up and you need to remake your ugly doll. So here is my original drawing of my ugly doll. Now the scissors that you're at your table look like this, and you may, depending on the pair of scissors, might find a pair that works really well. Some of them might not work at all. You just gotta use trial and error and take your time cutting out your ugly doll and find out what works for you. Sometimes, most of the time, actually, the tip of your scissors will not cut because they aren't sharp enough. They've been used on paper too much. You need to use the very inside of your scissors. I call that the strong point of your scissors, and that usually is the sharpest. And you can keep going if you just kind of do tiny cuts, slow and tiny cuts all the way around. Might be kind of frustrating if you can't get it with one pair of scissors. Try another pair. These have been used a lot and not really sharpened ever, so they're going to be pretty difficult to cut with. But if you're really struggling, find another pair. You might find one that works. If the next one doesn't work, try another pair. Go all the way around. When you get this one cut out, I want you to trace this stencil or this piece of fabric on your other piece of fabric, and I want you to cut it out. Same exact size. You do not have to make it bigger. You do not have to make it smaller. I want it to be the same exact size, so that way when you sew them together, they'll look exactly the same. When you get done cutting this out, cut the other one out too. And then you'll have 2 pieces of fabric that are exact same shape. This takes a while, so it might take you one whole class period to get through this. Once you get done cutting it both layers out, then you're ready to start cutting out little pieces for your accessories, like your eyes, your bow ties, your patches, mouth, teeth, tongue, whatever other crazy features you added to your ugly doll. You could start cutting those out of some of the scraps that I'm going to have hanging out in another basket. And look, I've already gotten that one drawn. I'm going to cut them both out so that way I'll have 2 layers, one pink and one green, and then I will add whatever facial features I want, like my eye, my mouth, my bow tie, my buttons, on here, but we're going to use tacky glue for that, and I'll show you how to do that in the next video.